Peter here with Newsboys United. Obviously Mike and I, we've been friends for a long time. We sing differently, we look differently, we're great friends, and yet that's what I think you pick up in the night. You get these two different sets, two different eras of the band, and they just seem to work really good together.
You don't just get back together after 10 years and pick up where you left off and have a blast with it. You know, it's just amazing. I'm sort of just pinching myself going, this is really happening, we're really doing this, we're playing these songs again. Yeah, it's pretty special.
It is a Christian rock band, Newsboys, and if you have not heard of this Christian band, they are phenomenal. They're out of Australia. I've actually seen them in concert. I produced one of their shows while they were here in Louisville.
And you were telling something crazy about him.
The drummer is phenomenal, and you see him on there. He will actually do something unbelievable, and I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to give it away. But when you see it, you're going to go, oh my goodness.
How does he do that?
How does he do it? So if you have never heard of Newsboys, go to the Louisville Palace this Saturday. They're calling the tour United Tour. They travel all over the world, but United States right now is their main core. And they've got some unbelievable songs like He Reigns and We Believe. So this will be a great concert.
We traveled together on tour buses when we were kids, so there is that brotherhood that's there, and so the cross has the final word. To me, is about the power of Jesus and about what he did. It's what Christians hope in, is that something has happened in the earth that happened from the beginning where man disobeyed God, and it opened doors that brought in powerful things, sickness and disease and hurt and pain, and science can't defeat them things, and drugs can't defeat them, alcohol can't defeat them, Buddha can't, the New Age can't, Muhammad can't. The only thing that can is something more powerful than all of them, and that has to be something more powerful than death. And the only thing more powerful than death, we believe, is Jesus Christ, what he did on the cross.
I always get asked in our Q&A sessions, what's your favorite part about performing or being in the Newsboys or being in a band? And I often say, the people that sing back the songs that that God blessed you with. I often say the closer we get to the Creator, the more creative we get. And God's given us some wonderful songs, fantastic songs throughout the years, from my DC Talk band down to Newsboys. And just to be the conduit, the carrier of such a message, knowing God's word does not come back void, ever. And knowing you can sing these songs and touch the heart of, well, millions of people.
This tour is a bit of a reunion. What sparked the idea for all 6 of you to get together?
The whole idea of it is just brilliant, I think, in the sense of, obviously, fans from the past will know Pete, and some of the kids will be like, well, who's that guy? But it doesn't matter who that guy is, because that guy is part of a major part of this whole, thing over the years.
It's going to be fun these guys are great musicians, and it's going to be fun to hear that sound again, hear a certain sound that, whenever a band gets together, it only makes a particular sound generally, and so I'm looking forward to that.
All right, now, so with this Newsboys reunion, I have to ask this question. Will we finally see a DC Talk reunion?
I was on a text thread yesterday with...
Music is a conduit, as Michael says often.
But I think at the end of the day, if we can point as many people, kids, teenagers towards their maker, I mean, that's as good as it gets for me. I can't save anyone. I don't have that power, never will have. That's up to God. I can't convict anyone. That's the Holy Ghost's job. But what my job is to go out to all the world and preach the gospel. And I think our legacy, I would love our legacy to be as ultimately that we've walked in God's will for every one of these guys sitting here. The Peter, Phil, Joe, Jeff, Jody, Michael, each one of these guys.
There's a lot of great problems to have in this situation because there's so many great songs, so many hit songs, and so little time. So the show will actually be a 7-hour show. I'm just kidding. It could be, though. But we'll figure it out, and we're going to have fun. We're going to hit the rehearsal room in a couple weeks and see what comes out.
Why not, right? I mean, what, Tom Petty did 3-hour shows? Bruce Springsteen, 2.5 hours, easy? Man, I think we could do at least...
I don't think your fans have that long attention span, Phil.
True.
Truth is, the first 4, 5, 6, 7 shows, some 10 shows are like, that didn't work, move that to number 2. Okay, Phil, you were great at the beginning, maybe move to this spot over here, and maybe move Pete and the you never know. You just never know. It's because it's like trial and error. You have a magnet charter, but you don't know exactly if it's going to fully follow through.
I think it's going to be awesome. I think what we have here is a group of guys that have known each other for a long time. There's mutual respect. We love each other. So I think, and on top of all of that, mix in a whole bunch of gratitude that we're still here, still able to do it. The response from fans has been incredible. The fact, once we start putting this idea out there, everyone's just gone, yeah, we want to see that. And it was kind of born out of... we recorded a song a little bit ago called "Cross Is the Final Word," and we needed an extra part of that song. We thought, well, why don't we give that to Pete? Great songwriter, over 30 number 1 hits in his time. Let's give it to him and see what he does with it. Came back, the killer part, and it kind of came out of that. So we kind of had this moment where Pete came, recorded the song together, sang on the song, and it kind of came out of that momentum out of that song because, well, gosh, guys, why don't we do some shows together, see what happens? And I know it should probably sound more calculated than that, but that's really as simple as it's been. And here we are in the spring of 2018 going out and doing over 40 dates with each other. So it's going to be awesome.
Fans love it when bands collaborate, and obviously it's kind of different because I came from DC Talk, joined the Newsboys, and so it's like a little bit of DC Talk in the mix too. It's in my DNA. It can't take that away from me. And mixed with these guys, we've been band buddies. Besties, frenemies, whatever you want, for years. Back in the day, if you were a Newsboys fan, you were a DC Talk fan, vice versa. So I'm at home with this band. I'm elated to be with this band. I'm excited about this tour. You read on Instagram, these kids are writing back and forth or on Facebook. They're still like, what's it going to be like, People want to see teams work things out. They want to see people unify, come together, and share. It's what Pice is all about.
I think kids are going to be like, who's the bald guy and the guy with the hair? But nah, you're scary. Nah,
Pete has a piece. He's going to wear a T-shirt. This is the best part. Pete's going to wear a T-shirt when he does his Newsboy set. It says Michael Taylor be right back on his T-shirt. That's my favorite thing, Pete.
No, I think what's going to be great about it is, you know what, it has been nearly 10 years with Tate, and there's a whole set of fans that only know Newsboys as that. But what's going to be great is when they realize that all these songs that they know from the past were actually Newsboys songs. And they're going to get to see them performed like their parents would have, and probably their parents will be there. That's generally how our crowds go. So it's going to be exciting.
The whole purpose of this tour is to let my 13-year-old son know that I was in a cool band. That's pretty much all there is to it.
There's some truth in that,
right?
I think it's always been bigger than the sum of its parts. So that's what I love about Newsboys. I remember I was talking to Pete earlier. I remember the first time, even before I was in the band, I crept into this little 200-seater church the Newsboys are playing at. And I saw them play, and I saw that there was this kind of
there was something more there than just the 3 or 4 guys who are on stage, and I was actually jealous of it. But now I get to be in the band. But it was a very healthy thing. I remember thinking God has his hand on this band. I don't know why. Maybe I'll ask God one day. But that's still today. I'm a fan of this band. I've always been a fan. But I get to play in it. So
I think when you start thinking and talking about legacy, I think what's going to be what I've realized recently, I guess I could say, is that we're going to get to one day we're going to get to see the actual fruits of our labor. And I think these last few tours we've done a lot of Q&As, and we've actually got to have people really minister to us. They come to us and they say, man, I was going through cancer, and this one song, got me through it. And you're just like, wow, and you're so far removed from it. You realize that we're doing what God wants us to do, and we have no idea what He's actually doing with it. But one day we will, and that's the legacy. That's cool.
Yep. I hope Christian music moves along in the sense of, I really hope, because Christian music has kind of become a style. I hope we can break out of that and take the art to another level. I think there's a lot of forces kind of trying to make it be one thing. I think music is inherently neither good nor evil. I think it's a lyrical content and the spirit behind it. So I would love to see CCM, Christian music, whatever you want to call it, I would love to see it progress. I'd love to see the art of it progress, because it seems to be for a lot of the moment, it's as long as it's got certain words in it or so many times you've said that word, that it's okay. And I'm like, well, yeah, but let's make the art great. Let's make it as good, because people tend to say, well, it's Christian music. Well, it's second rate. Well, at least that's what they're thinking. Yes, it's about the ministry, and we're all about that. But I think let's work harder at making the art of what we do the best that we can possibly make it. And I think that would be my, I'm ministering. I'm talking to myself here. Let Duncan become the best drummer. Just good is not good enough. Become a great drummer. Become a better drummer than you were 5 years ago. So I know we all feel like that. I know Michael wants to become a better singer. Everyone wants to be better at their craft. So at some point, because sometimes that's the only way you're going to minister to some people, is what they perceive you to be on the instrument. They may not be ready to hear what you're saying, but they may see that drummer man, that lead singer, my world class. And at that point, the hearts are more open to hear what you have to say.
I mean, as a believer, obviously having a platform to share a message of Christ from is phenomenal. You're humbled by it. Like, why would God use such a unworthy soul, Right. And when he says he does the foolish things to confound the wise, I believe that, because we're clay pots, to put it simply, and God uses us. But the Newsboys platform has given me, I get to do God's Not Dead, I get to share the gospel to loving people in Baja, Mexico. Traveling to Africa for Child Fund, for singing in 50 states, pretty much every state once a year, pretty much, in the course of a whole year. What an opportunity! It's like, one thing feeds the other. Being the lead singer for Newsboys, singing on the stage every night, being responsible to be the voice of the band, if you will, from stage live at night. That's a daunting task sometimes. But then I think to myself, my dad being a preacher, I think, man, what a cool opportunity to speak into some sweet little Cindy or Brandon or Ted or Mary life. Mary's life. Who knows how God's going to use him? His word didn't come back void, and we sing it loud and clear every night.
I've been digging into the archives, trying to get all the prep work done for the tour and doing videos and trying to find. I actually had to dig out like a treasure chest out of my crawl space that had all my old hard drives, to find all the old loops and things we used to use in our show and videos. Luckily, I still had most of it, and then when I listened to it, it all sounded terrible, so I decided to redo it. probably a million pieces for me, just because I think the theme of that song is still so relevant, if not more so today than it was when it came out. You know, people, as we know, live under a lot of anxiety, fear, and worry about the future. And see, we've been around for 30 years. We're still here. Everything's going to be okay. And but to me, like that message, assuming that we play the song during the tour, I think it will really speak to people in a new, fresh kind of way.
I think probably the oldest. I mean, I love Shine, Breakfast, all the hits. I mean, I'm a pop guy. I love pop music. Something Beautiful was, to me, that's still a great song. I love to play it. I love what it was all about. But I think of the newer stuff, probably Born Again, because that kind of had a multiple meaning. Obviously, we're born again as Christians, but that was a moment where the band was born again.
My all-time favorite song, I'm thinking hard, of Newsboys past that we sing so is He Reigns, for sure. Because I love worship. I love worship. It's got you can do it in the black church, you do it in the white church. It has a group. It's all great.
Man, it's really difficult because you as a musician, you kind of like songs for different reasons than most people would like songs, and you also connect things. I mean, things like God's Not Dead. That was a great song that did something big in our careers, and then as you go back, we've had lots of different, like Entertaining Angels was one that was, a big moment in our career. But we were talking earlier about this very subject, and the song Always came up, and I just remember, always loved playing that song, and it was a great moment in the show. And just as a side note, Building 429, Jason come up to me one time, and he was telling me how he saw that song live, and he wanted to learn how to play guitar. And here he is, lead singer for a band, doing well. So,
but I'm going to go this time with Entertaining Angels because I love Phil's voice. I love the song. But I think for me, another reason is that it's one song that when we play it live, I get to stand back and just watch and play guitar and enjoy and kind of look around, as opposed to just having a, yeah, I get to, watch the Newsboys play, except I'm on stage, so it's kind of cool.
I was not born free. I was set free. Drugs didn't have the power. Alcohol, not enough power. Buddha, no power. Confucius, no power. Muhammad, no power. I needed the king of every king, and his name is Jesus. Say yeah! 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 I am free to run. I am free to dance. I am free to live for you. I am free. Yes, I am free. Freedom! Freedom in your head, freedom in your heart, freedom in your emotions. The money comes with the blood. And the price has been paid. I'm getting kind of hungry.
You know what? I think it's time. I think that a lot of our fans that have been with us for a little while, when they heard about the idea of having, doing Newsboys United, so many of them just went, yes! It's going to be fun for us because I was talking to Michael this morning. It's almost like hooking up with your old girlfriend again. You know what I mean? It's like you in the sex hole, you got your new girl, but then you're hooking up with your old girl. But it's cool. But it's cool. Your friends and your wife, maybe. For want of a better term. Wow. But yeah, it's great. It's great.
Okay, next question.
It definitely helps. We're not that calculated, sadly. I think it's which is a good thing. I mean, it's we're all musicians. We're creative. So, and being that way, you're always hungry to create something else. You know, there's a desire that is in you, whether it's music or an idea or a tour. And Newsboys, you know, history's proven, you know, that it's always got a thrill out of creating something, whether it be a rotating drum kit or an air dome. You know, you're taking your own building with you. And so, you know, this is just another one of them seasons. And so, I don't think it's something we sat down about a year ago. Probably a year ago it might not have happened, you know, but it has been just, we started working together on a song and jamming in the studio, and then one thing, you know, you start hanging out and look what happens, man. You hang out with the wrong people, you know.
Yeah. Or a motley crew, mate.
Motley crew, mate, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because Phil and I had actually kind of been out of touch for quite a few years, and just by pure coincidence, we were on a layover in Las Vegas, both heading home from shows, and sat next to each other for 4 hours on the flight back, and just kind of caught up on life and everything. And next thing you know, his kids are babysitting my kids, and so there was certain things that kind of happened along the way that kind of led to this point, for sure.
It just feels right. It just does. It feels like the right timing. You know, I got a phone call and said, "Hey, come down the office and we'll chat." You know, this is Newsboys management, and I'm like, "Chat about what?"
Right.
If you get that call, usually you're in trouble.
Or I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe I need to go through the lost and found. You know, left some sneakers or something behind. But they said, the idea was sort of juggled around the table at that time, and it was like, yeah,
right,
totally, this makes absolute sense. Seems like the right timing, and music and rock and roll and culture and all of that. It just changes. It's shifting. You know, this whole form of expression or music or whatever it is, even Christian music, it's kind of young. So we've never seen this kind of thing happen before. You kind of seen it in mainstream world, like with the Eagles. You know, they've kind of done different things, and everyone embraces, you know, new people hitting the platform or old guys coming back, and I don't know. It's kind of, it just feels really good. It feels really right. I kind of hope, you know, I have sort of hopes for this thing in different areas, things I didn't sort of see coming, like you know, for want of a better term, like millennials type thing, like people that kind of grew up listening to what we did. A lot of these people have kind of left the church and just, you know, kind of confused about their faith maybe or what have you. And I think it'll be kind of inspiring for a lot of people to go, hey, these guys still believe the things they believe. They're still walking out their faith. They're still, you know, men of God. And I'm going to go and hear those songs again. And I'm looking forward to seeing people kind of get reinvigorated. You know, I mean, it's reinvigorating for us. And I just think people who have appreciated what's been done over the years will get hopefully stirred, you know.
Yeah. I think we were, you know, I mean, I've known Duncan since out of high school. So, you know, there's bonds there that, you know, you don't break. And I think as time goes on in life, relationships are more important than what you're doing, you know, what you think you should be doing. So, you know, for us, but at the same time, it's, you know, when you're in a band, it's a tribe, you know, and tribes go out and they do what they do. And so these guys have been really busy the last 7 or 8, 9 years. How long's it been?
9 years, nearly 10 years.
10 years for Phil, I guess. So they've been really busy, and so, you know, it's not like you just, and when they do get home, it's family time, and so, you know, but you know, it's that's what it is. You know, I think for us, it's for me personally, probably one of the most exciting parts is just the relationship side, and you know, I think I'm a peacemaker. I've started a few wars in my life, but you know, I try to be a peacemaker, and I'm a believer in that, and I think it's for us there is, gosh, I was, you know, even going through some of these songs, you know, as we're all talking about a set list, it's and hearing old live versions just to remember what you did and maybe remember what you shouldn't do. It's been a time of, you know, thinking about when I first met Jody and when he, you know, first came out and jumped on the bus and beat us all at some card game, so we wanted to fire him, you know, way back in the day, and, you know, and meeting Jeff in Michigan and coming out and auditioning and all these sort of thing, and obviously Michael and we go way back, you know, we go back to early days, and Phil too, you know, seeing Phil first time in, you know, we picked him up at Los Angeles airport. I believe he had a pair of pink sheepskin shorts on.
They were purple.
Purple. They were
Big
purple.
difference.
With like this white tank top on, And we pull up and we're like, oh, let's do another lap. Think about this. You know? But here we are. So it's, there's a bond there that you can't, you can never shake it. So you'd be stupid to try to.
Yeah. Well, I think it's, other than my marriage, this is the longest. I mean, this is the longest relationship I've had. Is Newsboys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a deeply ingrained part of who we are. Not that we derive our identity from it necessarily, but it is a big part of who we are. Just always will be.
Yeah. I think it will, definitely. That's going to happen automatically, whatever song we sing. Just, I think for folks that grew up listening to the band, just to see certain people on stage together, ignites a certain memory.
Yeah.
And even, I think, going back to the music, listening to some of the songs, it was really strange because it was my... maybe fear was, man, is this going to work? This? I'm not super confident in that way. Is this song going to, bounce back at us? But when I was listening to it, I was like, man, this feels like this needs to be said right now. And it isn't being said in Christian music, especially. Obviously we've been overtaken by a particular style of music in Christian music, and I think it'd be nice to sing some of these songs now. I was chatting with Mike the other day, and it was so funny, and I love this about Mike. He was like, you know what? If I get a break here, I can go and change my jacket.
It's all about wardrobe. Yeah.
I get to do a clothes change.
I learned from Toby Mac, learned from the best.
I would have never thought of that.
I love it.
Honestly, the reality for me is that I don't have to tow a U-Haul behind my Volvo for a year.
Yeah.
You get to sleep and have a bunk.
It's kind of...
We forgot to tell you, Phil, you're going to have to take your Volvo.
There wasn't enough bunks yet.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting, Like Peter says, bands are kind of tribal little beasts, and the Zealand is a little tribe that we've kind of been, cruising around in the Volvo with the U-Haul for 5 years, and so I imagine this tribe will beat up my tribe, and we'll
we'll have to assimilate.
And we'll assimilate after the beating. But no, I'm really looking forward to that.
What's that one Zealand song? The God something.
Yeah, that's it. Just like that, man.
The melodic one.
Actually, I like that lyric better. That's a good one.
I mumbled, guys. My point is, I like that one. So I heard it. I like it. Big boys, definitely. Yeah, I do. I can't recall that. I don't call my own songs. That's one of yours.
That's true. That is true. It was about the second or third tour that we've done with Child Fund, and we've all been down to Baja, and we've built houses, worked on that mission work down there. But this last summer I got to go down to Africa, and I've been down to South America and just a lot of these places we all have and experienced all that. But I think much is given, much is expected, and we've been blessed beyond compare in so many ways in our careers and in our lives and with our relationships. I think when you go down there and you see firsthand the plight of most of the people in the world. I mean, we tend to think, well, most people kind of live like we do, right? No, they don't. And so I think what we love to do as a band of brothers is just bring an awareness. Because we've seen firsthand the difference between, say, a sponsored child and a non-sponsored child. And the difference is absolute night and day. Yeah. And you think, oh, what can 30 or 33 bucks a month do? When you get to those countries, it might as well be $10,000 a month, because what that can do is it revolutionizes their life. It means that they have healthcare, a bed, it means they have food every day, they have supplements. I mean, they have all these things that we take for granted, clean water, or not. So I think a lot of us, we said, well, does the money really get there? Is, the money just going to, some fat cats that are, just looking to buy the next roller? No, it absolutely gets there. And I think let's say with someone like Child Fund, they're on the ground. I think when you give the money to a government, that's when all the funds can disappear. But I think the great thing with someone like Child Fund is they are on the ground. They have people on the ground, so the money does get there. And with that, when you look after someone's being, then we have an incredible opportunity at that point to then talk to them about their about their salvation and about Christ. I think sometimes we bum rush people with, oh, you got to get saved, you got to get saved. Well, I don't know if I'm going to eat for the next week. Well, you talk me getting saved, and I think that's a great thing. What we're passionate about is being able to say, okay, let's help feed you and clothe you, then it gives us an opportunity to share our faith.
We're not called because we're talented because we're called. So God knew from the beginning that this moment would happen. He knew that I'd be in DC talking to Toby and Kevin. He knew that I would use the talent he gave me. People say, what's the will of God for my life? What's the will for my life? Mm-hmm. The will of God for your life is to find out what God is doing and get involved. It's that simple. And so if I can use my voice, these guys use instruments, their voices, to proclaim that message. And I guess the hardest thing, especially being an artist on stage, is saying, hey, it's not about you. No, it's not about you. You're dead to yourself. A dead man has nothing to reckon. He's dead to himself. So you realize that, you especially as an artist, you can squeeze all the you out of the rag of you and let God use you, be that callus, and he just shines down through you. The vertical meets the horizontal. It's amazing. It's the gospel message. That's what music's all about for us.
I think we tend to judge success in a different way than God actually does. You know, I think the main thing is that we need to make sure that we're being obedient and let God do what he's going to do with it. And so, you know, what we always say to young artists and people who are trying so hard to like make it in the industry, making is being in God's will. Let him do the thing. Never despise where you're at. The guy playing on the corner or playing in the youth group
or the airport,
he is just as important in the whole scheme of God as anything that we're doing up on stage. We could be on stage and playing for thousands of people and be complete failures because it's about being in God's will.
Mm-hmm. I mean, who knows? I think we're just looking at it at the moment as just a moment in time in the spring.
Day by day.
Day by
day. See thee more clearly. Love thee more dearly. Day by day, by day, by day.
You should write. You should finish
that sounds like a good song.
Yeah, good start.
About 50 years ago, that would have been a great song.
You were around then. You're from the colonial days.
You were there. Yeah, so I think, but who knows? I think never say never. I think we'll see what happens. But I mean, if there's
enjoy the moment,
if there's suction for it, I mean, who knows what the future will hold? But
ask this after the first show.
Yeah, I know.
There could be suction in a different way.
Yeah. What a great way to end this one. That's awesome. And go, Jeff Frankenstein.
I was born in Australia, and I just happened to be one of them international transfer kids. I was about third grade, I believe it was. Yeah, and I got transferred to DC area, Washington, DC.
Right.
I was in school, and I'd never had this happen to me before in my life, but I was sitting next to this kid, this little African-American kid. Oh boy, I tell you what, he must have had
What?
Guys, that's fake news.
That is fake news.
Totally true.
That is
true story.
Okay, so what were schools like in Australia? I mean, were you...
They smelt better, I
tell you. No, terrible. So when you go to school in Australia, is it you go for like an hour and then...
And that's it.
And you run from dingoes? Do you just run from dingoes on the recess?
Oh, absolutely. Snakes,
you know, in Australia, do you remember there was a song about a particular spider called the redback spider, and every kid was taught this song because this spider would kill you. And when I went to school, there was no anti-venom for it.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of strange being a little kid and you taught this. And you had to check under the toilet seat.
Because that's where they'd like to.
You wanted the dark and dirty.
You know what? When I was a kid, we got the itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. He gets run for your life. That spider's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not what we grew up with. Yeah, that was not.
Peter, how'd the song go, Peter?
I can't remember it all now, but it was like there's a redback.
There was a redback on the toilet seat when I was there last night. I didn't see him in the dark, but boy, I felt his bite. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah,
What?
Yes, Yes,
This
that was
is a
it.
song
That's a song that
sing
we
to
learned as
children.
kids.
Wow. Okay, so I just want
Amazing.
to put that out there that here in America we don't have to run for our lives from the red-backed
Yeah,
spider.
right.
Yeah. But
okay.
this,
Red belly snake, brown snake.
7 deadly snakes in the world.
Everything dangerous is in Australia.
Everything wants to kill you.
I
in
think like
Australia.
90% of the dangerous things in the world all live in Australia, and they chased him. I just want to
But
put
it
that
smells
out there.
better.
It smells better.
I can't believe I've lived this far. I can't believe I'm still alive.
So share your story. So what rough moment did you have in school?
Well, every kid, you know, especially first day of school, you've got your uniform on, your whole nine. But I had one of those days that it was kind of people were looking at me all day, and I was kind of like, what are they, you know, you're kind of insecure and self-conscious. I get home, right, and Mum turns me around and says, did you know you had this massive rip all the way down my pants? So I was just, all day long,
No one told you?
No one told me. They were laughing behind my back, of course,
Sure,
but no one told me.
sure.
And it crushed me. I was, you know, when I was 7 years old or something.
That's rough.
It was rough.
That is very rough. That is very.
Not
How do you?
even
Okay, so I know that a lot of kids. I've talked to kids actually just a couple of weeks ago, and they all kind of admitted that getting up in front of their friends and getting embarrassed is one of the worst things that they can imagine.
Absolutely.
What would you say to them if your kids are watching and maybe you want to show this to them later? What would you say to encourage them? Because you guys get up in front of people all the time, lots of people. How did you come over that fear? How did you get over it? What did you do?
It's a true fear. I mean, there are times when I still get a little worried, and even as an older man, an older human.
Really older.
Oh, well, you know, black don't crack. So
here it comes. Black don't crack.
Here's the thing, it does. No, it really does. Oh!
Turns out I was wrong. But yeah, there are times I get, the thing is, the confidence, I believe, comes in just believing what you're talking about, you know? And people are going to talk whether you do good or bad, honey bunny. So get up there and do your thing. Stand up there and stand strong. Grandma used to always say, pretend they're animals. Pretend they're billy goats or something. That really didn't work for me. My point is, if you believe in it.
Wait. So she told you to think
Pretend
that
they were animals.
They're billy goats.
Yeah, the people in the audience were billy goats.
Huh.
Yeah, that way you don't get nervous.
Because I always heard you picture them naked.
Well, that too. Yeah,
Which-
that's kind of scary. Though.
That was kind of scary
yeah,
because that did not work really well for me. So
Yeah.
but I'm thinking maybe the billy goat thing.
Yeah. Well,
What if you're scared of goats?
Well, then that's...
Maybe don't picture that. Maybe
not
don't
good.
picture that spider either that Peter had to run from. So, you know, when you're nervous and you're scared, I get that. What I've realized in my life is I mess up all the time.
Yep.
How many times have you guys messed up on stage?
Oh,
A
never.
million?
Never. Not one time.
Not one time?
No. What? I think the thing is that
embrace it, right?
I think you got to, especially on stage when you got people watching you. I think the big thing is to not stress out, not to freak out.
Yes.
That's your natural response. But I think is just to roll with it. And if you roll with it, I think the crowd resonates with that. Okay, he made a mistake, but he doesn't take himself too seriously. He's going to roll with it and make something unique out of it because, you know, that'll be the show that they remember. Oh, remember that one show?
Man, once we had a show, we actually stopped the song. We were in the middle of the song and it was going wrong. Jody Davis had started the song in the wrong key. And we were like a verse and a half, and I go, guys,
we got
to stop this right now in front of everybody. I go, I'm not going any further than this. Adele did that on the award show.
Yeah,
a while back, one of the award shows.
Exactly right. She stopped the show, man. She said, "No, I can't. I've got to respect the song."
Yeah,
and she
be
stopped
real
the
in the
show.
moment, man.
But if you share that realness, everybody messes up. I mess up. These guys mess up all
It
the
actually
time.
helps you in the end because it takes
It's incredibly endearing.
all the jitters go away. You go, okay, that's about ready. So now let's really do it.
Let's do it. So before we finish up, I know that as everybody's going back to school, to be very serious right now, I know that it can be really tough for teachers. A lot of my friends are teachers, and they struggle. They really struggle. And what kind of encouragement could we offer them right now to encourage them? The kids, the teachers, what could we say to them?
Fro, you got anything?
I think their job is so important, not to put more pressure, but I think enjoy that it's really important and know that you're making a massive difference in the life of people.
Right.
You're making, man, there could be a future president in your class.
Right.
You know, he or she, there will be leaders, there will be people that are going to affect the culture and society. And, you know, I think everybody can remember back a favorite teacher they had or a teacher that, you know, at that time in your life, you're impressionable. And so just know that what you're doing is, man, it's so important. You know, it's more important than many jobs that are out there. And so, in fact, it could be the most important thing that's out there. So be encouraged in that. And I know there's tough days and things you have to deal with, but know that you are doing a great work.
I would even add to that too. Love, you know, for teachers, That can be tough, and it's obviously a thankless job in a lot of times.
It can be. It really can
But love your students, because a lot of kids
Yeah.
will leave their homes with
Yeah.
broken homes. A lot of my friends in D.C. had no dads.
Yeah.
Dads with 2 count, breath and britches, no men really. And the kids would come to school, and the teacher became kind of the surrogate.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And so teachers, it's a big job. But it's also a job where you can reach out and love somebody.
Yeah.
Just like Peter said it best: future leaders, future moms,
Yeah.
future dads.
Yeah.
You can affect their lives
Yeah.
greatly.
Just remember something, that as parents, pour into your teachers. You know, send your kid off with a note for the teacher. You know, we pour so much into our kids, and we hold teachers more accountable for sometimes the things we do in our own homes. I know that a lot of times we kind of expect teachers to be the parents. A lot of times we really do kind of go, well, my kid's acting up, I'm going to need you to. No, listen, encourage those teachers, because for every parent that is involved, that helps and is there in the PTA, there's a lot of parents that aren't. And so if you can be that person in that teacher's life to send a note and just say, hey, I'm praying for you. I appreciate you. You do an amazing job, and I support you in what you do. Man, I'm telling you, those notes, they can change somebody's day, their week, their life. You really don't realize how much it means to them, because the kids are sweet. A lot of times they'll leave little notes, but I'm telling you, when a parent takes time out of their day to send some encouragement their way, I just know it's going to make a huge difference. So
send the teacher an apple every now and then. An apple,
I can say
kiwi,
this.
kiwi fruit.
Listen to me carefully. A lot of teachers in my life, listen, they're done with the apple decorated things. Just seriously, like, go to Bed Bath and Body. You know what I'm saying? Get some gel. You know
bad idea. No apples.
No, really, no apples. Don't do the apple
Bath
thing.
and Body Works.
Love on them. Give them gift certificates. Seriously.
They're going to put up with kids with poopy pants and stuff.
With poopy pants.
Oh, come on.
There is that.
That was many years ago.
Did you get a nickname for it, by the way?
No, I didn't. They didn't call me poopy. I am chocolate, though. Color.
We did have a nickname for you.
Yeah.
We did have one. I've just never shared it.
You've never shared it? Do you want to share it right now before we close?
Chocolate Thunder.
Peter Furler.
That is live on the couch here with the Newsboys. I'm Bonnie Curry. It's 94.9 KLT.
Stuck with the shepherd, but you wouldn't play